Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss The Amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Rhys Ifans, Dennis Leary, Campbell Scott, Irfan Khan, Martin Sheen, Sally Field, Embeth Davis, and Chris Zielka, and directed by Mark Webb. Now, before I get into this movie, this director, Mark Webb, I knew this director from 500 Days of Summer, which was made before this movie. And I was really excited to see it for my birthday, and how did I feel? Well, let's get into it. The parents of Peter Parker have secrets of turning things away from Oscorp as a side story that will be kind of explained in the next film, but meanwhile, Peter gets dropped off at his Aunt May and Uncle Ben's place. Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker Spider-Man, or slash Spider-Man, let me say, came off as a skateboarder punk, which doesn't make any sense for Peter Parker because he was a nerd. But as Spider-Man, it makes sense because Spider-Man will make smart aleck jokes. Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy is a good version of the love interest, even better the version than Bryce Dallas Howard, from Spider-Man 3, and much better than Mary Jane in the previous 3. Sally Field as Aunt May and Martin Sheen as Uncle Ben is rather a strange casting choice because they're both a little too young for the parts. Gwen having an internship at Oscorp is rather strange because she's a high school student. It's like she's not old enough for that, I don't think. Rhys Ifans as Dr. Kurt Connors, aka the Lizard, a terrible villain, and before this movie came out, he was kicked out of Comic-Con for reasons I'm not sure of. If someone would like to let me know, please put it in the comments on the below. The score in this movie is a little too obnoxious. Just the way it sounds. Sure, the way the same... There were some good ones, sure, but a lot of it was really distracting for this movie. The line "with great power comes great responsibility" couldn't be said, but Ben was almost there of saying it, is rather too risky. Just like the robber takes the money and shoots Ben. To be clear, when someone grabs a gun and points a gun at you, you should listen to what the guy says. Just seriously, don't wrestle the gun away from the robber's hands. I like Dennis Leary as Captain Stacy because his presence is a great way to show off the boyfriend-father relationship cliche where he wants Spider-Man captured in a terribly awkward dinner scene, but it's still a cliche in my opinion. The car robber scene makes Spider-Man look like a dick here and makes me think this isn't Spider-Man's finest hour as Andrew Garfield plays him. Well, we'll find out later on. The Lizard is kind of a creepy looking character, but like I said earlier, a pretty terrible villain. Captain Stacy says to Peter, "Do I look like the mayor of Tokyo?" was pretty funny. The fight in the sewer between Spider-Man and the Lizard was kind of gross in my opinion. The other fight at school was ridiculously bad looking. The Stan Lee cameo where he's working at a library was a funny cameo for this movie. The music with the Lizard, where Gwen was hiding from the Lizard when he's trying to grab something for the cure for people to lizards at the end, was like the composer should be fired by doing those obnoxious noises, like when you play the piano and goes boom, that kind of thing. Spider-Man jumping from Cornetto Crane. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cornetto Crane is rather too cliche. The final fight between Spider-Man and the Lizard is too cartoony. The line, "Don't make promises you can't keep, but those are the best kinds." The problem was that if you say that to a girl whose father died, it's not rather the right thing to say whatsoever. I'm just going to put it out there. The scene during the credits is teasing us like a TV show would do, and will tell you next time, like in Prometheus, as I reviewed recently. If you're a filmmaker, don't do that, because people won't come back for the sequel, and they'll say, "It sucked, for that and other many reasons. Now, it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 5.8 out of 10. It's not a great movie, not a good Spider-Man Andrew Garfield is, and a terrible villain the Lizard is, which we'll see if they improve with Electro next week, and Spider-Man I don't think will improve either way. So, next week I'll be back with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and until next time, with great power comes great responsibility.